What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are here at Polderbaan for a stream with departures. It is Thursday, August 21st, 2025. And welcome to the show, everybody. Marja, goedenavond. Sven, Doug, good morning. Tina, Peter, goedemorgen. Patrick, Frans, Lindsay, Honda, Pascal, good morning. Good morning, one and all. I hope the internet connection will be adequate. Thought my laptop was a little slow, the internet at least. Did some speed testing and the reception today doesn't seem to be that great. So I'm hoping we're not going to get any buffering. The upload was adequate, but with less margin than normally would have been the case. So I'm hoping the internet connection is going to stay stable throughout the stream. In the meantime, airplanes are taxiing to the threshold. As you can see, the first airplane of the show looking to become an A350 from Delta. Although there is also a KLM. Will it use Cheater's Lane? That's the question. Yep, we have our answer. It's the first airplane. A cheater. KLM Flight 1269 to Copenhagen. That's the 737-800. Papa Hotel Bravo X-Ray Mike. 24-year-old airplane. First flight November 2000. And good morning everybody who joined in the meantime. Michael, Andre, Pierre, Dale, good morning. Jordi Ying, good morning. Sven, Servus, Arjani, Marijke, goedemorgen. Agent T79, guten Morgen und herzlich willkommen. Leo, goedemorgen. Fire in all. Leo, goedemorgen. Smeedy, good morning. Goedemorgen. Kevin H, good morning. Doekman, good morning. Bart, Berend, Richard, goedemorgen heren. Steven, good morning. Flipvoetballer, goedemorgen. Mr. Blue Sky, good morning. Next up, the first A350 of the show, Delta Airlines Flight 133 on its way to Detroit, Michigan. November 503 Delta November is the registration. 7-year-old airplane, first flight September 2017. Matt, goedemorgen. Jan, goedemorgen. Ik ben iemand op aarde morgen. Growl, growl, growl. There's a bit of wind, as you guys can see. The wind is blowing from the north today. At the moment, 3 north-south oriented runways are in use, with Aalsmeerbaan 36 right, the primary runway for arrivals, and center and the Polderbaan, obviously the 2 runways in use for departures, as you can see. Lovely cloudy backdrop. What more is there to say? The sun is shining and we have lovely clouds. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contrails in one small part of the sky. There's a 6th. Yeah, that seems to be it. So looking to the east, more land inward, this is looking to the east. The easterly horizon shows more cloudiness, although over here things are nice and blue. This is what things look like to the south. This is looking in the direction of the wind. This is where probably the cloudiness that you see in the background is coming from and is expected to arrive here later in the morning. Looking to the west, and particularly a bit further to the north, where you can also see further to the horizon, you can see that there's also more clouds west of us over the North Sea, or Gulf of Yorkshire as we call it over here. Another contrail, a 7th. That looks to be a quad squad. That's a Lufty, I think. It looks like Lufty, like a Lufty 747. And the wind is causing my camera to be unstable despite having enabled image stabilizer. Luckily, a new friction mechanism for my drag, for my pen axis is in. So I'm going right through to the AV store in Hilversum after I'm done streaming to get it replaced. So as of tomorrow, my setup should be a bit more resilient to wind again. Martin, goedemorgen. Daan, goedemorgen. Marjan, goedemorgen. Blackburst, goedemorgen. Babbers, good morning. Gertin en Jacqueline, goedemorgen. Jose Luis, good morning. STE Parker, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. So, yeah, this is what things look like here at Polderbaan. The construction works don't seem to have been resumed yet, or if they are working on it, they're doing it in a way that I'm unable to see it from over here. Now, interestingly, there's also an excavator working on the very south end of the runway. Now, obviously, that's not going to impair our visibility, so let them do that, but I didn't see that before. So I'm wondering, have they begun somewhere south of the middle, and are they working to the north and also partially to the south still? Doesn't matter, visibility over here is as it always has been. That is uninterrupted except for the big boxes over here. Our next airplane will be a 777-300 to Paramaribo, KLM flight 713. Erwin, goedemorgen. Willem J, goedemorgen. Yuri, goedemorgen. Veerboot, goedemorgen. Ruben, goedemorgen. Derek, good morning and welcome. Ramon, good morning. Alan, good morning, mate. Too bloody early. Yeah, it was early this morning for me as well. The early bird catches the worm is what they say, but what if you don't like worms? Alan needs vodka and so do I. Roel, goedemorgen. Rodi, goedemorgen. So this is KLM flight 713 to Paramaribo, the PHB-VW, Bravo Victor Whiskey. That is a 4-year-old airplane, first flight January 2021. Stefan, goedemorgen. Klaus, good morning. Ariani, good morning. Good morning, Kenny G. Kenny wonders if there's interesting airplanes scheduled to depart this morning, and the answer is I don't know. Must say I haven't checked this morning. Only thing I checked yesterday what today's wind was going to be and where I was going to go to. I do know that the A340 arrived this morning, and so too did the Orange Pride, so maybe the Orange Pride is scheduled to depart again later in the day. I don't know for sure. Oftentimes they just arrive and leave again the next day, so just because it arrived this morning doesn't necessarily mean it'll also leave again today. Well, ample contrails, another 3 moving west to east. more in the background over there. Hey, Fatbike Dutch, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. German Monster, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. Right, a couple of narrow bodies. Embraer 175 to Aberdeen first. After that, KLM 737 to Dublin. Fidel Castro is also over here on the other side. That's the spirit, Stefanski. Every airplane is interesting. Good morning, mate. Wise words. Hadi Gerrit, goedemorgen. Pieter, goedemorgen. Jorn, goedemorgen. Lance, good morning. Who is this bloke? Ample Contrails. Razor 013, goedemorgen. Good morning. Anka, good morning. Veldi, guten morgen. Sven, goedemorgen. If all is well, things should stay dry here. Don't think there was any precipitation expected, although there were some more clouds expected. Temperatures this weekend aren't going to be as high as they were last week, around 20 degrees C, 70 F or so. I do believe that they expected a possibility of a drizzly droplet here and there on Saturday, and maybe also tomorrow. I'm not sure again. Full well, today should stay dry. And after the weekend, it's going to get a bit warmer again. Ali also back. Good morning, Ali. Hope all is well. Harriet, goedemorgen. Of probably Harriet. Nienke, goedemorgen. Kennis Chef Chris, good morning. This is KLM Flight 1137 to Dublin, Ireland, 737-800. Papa Hotel Sierra Delta, the HSD. Didn't that airplane used to belong to Transavia? Probably didn't. Transavia doesn't have carrying cabins on their airplanes, or they retrofitted one on this one, or installed it later. That backdrop is second to none, isn't it? They are getting closer to us, these clouds in the distance. The wind is blowing from the north. And on the scale of chimney smoke, it looks like so. Ah! And German Monster says that the orange stripe will be going out again 10-1 to Sao Paulo. Should be a Polderbaan departure then in full as well. And the next airplane is approaching. That would be KLM, an A321neo to bloody Helsinki in Finland. Nature Guy, good morning. Michael, good morning. Rob, goedemorgen. Senna, goedemorgen. And we can see that the A321neo is going to take off from the threshold of the runway. Embraer 190 to Nantes in the background in the meantime. Air baguette, omelette du fromage. Carlo, goedemorgen. So there is another wide body from KLM on their way to the Polderbaan by the looks of it. 7879 to San Diego. In the meantime, Dirk on tour, also back in the chat. Good morning. He is celebrating 15 months of membership, watching from the train. Nice. Good morning, and thank you so much for your continued support, Dirk. Hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. Make sure you let me know when things need to be put on a groceries list, because we're running low on them. Hopefully you're going to stick around for many more months to come, Dirk. If not as a member, then at least as a regular frequent visitor. Thank you so much for the 15 months of support, mate. Good morning, Dave was here. Carlo, goedemorgen. And also good morning, Mehmet. Mehmet is back. And Mehmet just now sent a membership, gifted a membership, and I see that Rule was the recipient. Mehmet, thank you so much for your generosity. And welcome to the Skylounge, Rule. Have fun with those 34 custom emojis that you now have at your disposal for a month. Don't forget to say thank you to Mehmet for your gifted membership. So this is what things look like to the east. Cloudiness already to the east. Not much to the south. Immediately west of me, not much. Although if you take a look a bit further, and for that I need to turn the camera a bit to the northwest, you can see further left of us there's also cloudiness. The wind is blowing from the north, so this is where we need to look to see what's coming our way. In all likelihood, we are going to see more cloudiness later. In the meantime, at KLM 737 to Nice, which is nice, just now took off from center. Interesting to see, and all the while that I've been here, a security car has been standing on the airside part of the bridge. Even though there is nobody here. Also, I haven't seen anybody leave the vehicle. I'm not sure that there's even somebody in the vehicle at the moment. Mehmet already gifting another membership. Mehmet, thank you so much for your kindness. You didn't have to do that, mate. John is the recipient. John, welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Have fun with the custom emojis. Don't forget to say thank you to Mehmet. More narrow bodies taking off from center. This is KLM flight 1931 to Geneva. Badgerman, good morning. And good morning, nameless user who says, morning greetings from London. How come I don't see a name next to your icon? That's strange. How did you pull that one off? Rob, goedemorgen. Mehmet, what are you doing, mate? Mehmet on a membership gifting spree, another membership gifted. The recipient of the third gifted membership, Savius of Texas. Savius. Well, welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Have fun with the custom emojis. Don't forget to say thank you to Mehmet, Savius of Texas. I probably mispronounced that. Savius, probably, is the way to pronounce it. Peter de Vries, goedemorgen. Peter de Vries is tuning in from Heemstede, which is not too far away from here. Martinair, goedemorgen. And Fatbike Dutch is celebrating 12 months of membership. Proud member of the Aurora Sky Lounge. Relaxing is what he is writing. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. Another member who has turned green. Not only Greenpeace is going to love it, I love it as well. Thank you so much for your continued support. Let me know if anything in the lounge is amiss. That goes for all members, new and old. And let me see what I can do to fix it then. Doreen, goedemorgen. And Ali, also, what are you doing? Hey, AJ, aka Ali, just now gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much for your extreme generosity, Ali. You didn't have to do that. You went ahead and did it anyway. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those 10 new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Ali if you are one of the recipients of her gifted memberships. Have fun with the custom emojis that you will now have at your disposal for a month. And if you are enjoying the membership, maybe consider renewing it once it's about to expire, or maybe gifting somebody else a membership who might also enjoy it. Ali, thank you so much for your generosity. You didn't have to do that, but you went ahead and did it anyway. A 737 Exodus from Center. This is another 737, a 700 to Warsaw. Good morning, Gravely Lewis. Erik, goedemorgen. Klaus, good morning. Oh, I already said hi to you, I think. Well, better to say somebody hi twice than 0 times. Stuff is on the move. That Dreamliner to San Diego that I referred to earlier is about to become visible from the right in the background. EasyJet A320 to Bristol behind it. It looks like the KLM 777 to Lima is also on the move, and I also see that... Oh no, wait, that's... Huh? Oh wait, that's the Orange Pride. I was about to say, why am I seeing inbound traffic? But that's the Orange Pride that is still visible on flight radar, for which I also have a filter enabled, instead of just purely outbound traffic. So all the 747s, the A340, A380, anything that goes to Amsterdam with 4 engines also pops up. There's the Dreamliner. That's the Dreamliner to San Diego, flight 639. Oh, Carlo, good morning. The KLM Embraer almost at the threshold. That's KLM flight 1175 to Stavanger. Papa Hotel Echo X-Ray Tango, 7-year-old airplane, first flight January 2018. Kind of sort of turning and burning. Never came to a complete stop, did it? Yeah, so that beautiful cloudy backdrop has shifted. It's gotten a little closer. Interestingly, look at the pattern. Linear cloud formation over there. Linear cloud formation over there. Trademark Wolkenstraat or Cloud Street, as it is literally translated to English. That's the term that we use for it. Those are linear cloud formations parallel to one another, in line with the direction of the prevailing wind. So it tells you how the wind is blowing. There's also a twin jet control coming this way. That's going to pass pretty close by north of me. There are 2 controls over there as well. The furthest of the 2 seems to be a bit bigger, but still a twin engined airplane. Bit hard to make out what it is. Could it be an A350 from Cathay? I'm not sure. What's this? Yeah, it's a twin jet of sorts. Is that Lufti? It does look like Lufti, doesn't it? The old yellow logo on the tail. Not sure if I saw that right, but it was looking a lot like it. Hey, Jörg also back in the chat. Good morning, Jörg. And the user without a username says, I heard about your channel and was hoping to catch flight 591 take off. My sister is on a flight. What time will it be leaving? 591 is to South Africa, isn't it? If there's parallel departures in progress, it might be a departure from the center runway. I will tell you that. We should still be able to see it from over here. KLM flight 639 to San Diego is this. Papa Hotel, Bravo Hotel Alpha. Rosalie, goedemorgen. Good morning, Doug. W, good morning. DB Basement, good morning. Right, let's see. No, just too late for the 747 then. It already touched down. Unfortunate timing. Also, it's CRJ to Frankfurt just left from center. Danny, goedemorgen. And Danny, been watching for almost a year now and finally decided to come out of Lurker's Lounge. Well, welcome to the regular lounge there, Danny. Nice of you to come out of your hiding place. Although I do understand if you had stayed, I would have understood if you stayed in the Lurker's Lounge. The seats there are quite comfy as well. Nice of you to say hi. Don't be afraid to say hi if you are in Lurker's Lounge. Or maybe new to the channel. It's not mandatory to say hi, but it is always appreciated if you do. Also feel free to shoot any questions that you might be having. EasyJet to Bristol. Dion, goedemorgen. Henny, goedemorgen. Leo, goedemorgen. MK, hola. Ray, goedemorgen. And Peggy, good morning. Peggy is greeting us from San Diego. Well, wouldn't you believe it? We just sent a Dreamliner your way. We'll probably arrive in 9 to 10 hours from now. Maybe you were in time already to see its departure a couple of minutes ago. Professor Darshane, good morning. Or good evening for you probably, or afternoon. Well, it's getting busy. If you look on Flight Radar, quite a few airplanes are on the move. A lot of them seem to be coming this way. Quite a few of them are actually wide-bodied. It does look like my horizon is just ever so slightly crooked. Let's see. I have placed my tripod in sand. It might be that one of the legs has lowered a little bit, or anyway. It should be better on paper. Spirit level is indicating it should be level now. Yeah, the horizon does seem to be lining up with my rule of third lines that I have in my camera screen. Big birds and small birds are on the move. KLM flight 1231 to Gothenburg is here in the foreground. over there on the far left. KLM flight 743 to Lima in Peru. That's now coming our way and is going to make a long distance headshot. Marcel, goedemorgen. Stranger, goedemorgen. Good morning. Long distance headshot. Check this out. 777-300 to Lima in Peru. 787-10 to San Francisco on the left in the background. Makes for a nice picture. Maybe a thumbnail even. Right, well, despite the long distance headshot, we're not going to see that the airplane is going to take off from Cheater's Lane. It does look like the small airplane has been standing still now. Has anybody been listening in on ATC during the stream, and has anybody heard what might be going on over there? KLM flight 1231 and Embraer 190 to Göteborg, or at least that's what it is expected of it. That's according to the schedule. You can see another wide body in the background. That is KLM flight 661 to Houston. Time for another long distance headshot. 787-10, KLM flight 605 to San Francisco. Not for long though. Action at the threshold. This is KLM flight 743 to Lima in Peru, which is pretty close to up and away. Wind seems to be blowing a little bit from the northeast. You can see after its rotation and after it left the ground, it started turning in just a little bit to the right to compensate for a little bit of crosswind. Now, the Wolkenstraat, the street cloud, the cloud streets seem to indicate that as well. If you look in which direction they are forming, this is where the wind is blowing from. So it makes sense that the airplane also started heading into the wind a little bit. It's getting busy here. We're getting airplane inception here. How about this? Oh yeah, well, everybody has to go around the airplane that is still stuck there. So this is airplane inception. KLM flight 605 in the meantime, on its way to San Francisco. Gebakje, goedemorgen. Oef, goedemorgen. Daniel, good morning. Zurf Flight Radio, goedemorgen. Right. We're also going to see a cheater in cheater's lane coming this way. KLM Embraer 190 to Inverness, flight 901. Although I'm not sure which one will leave first. Air Baltic also lining up here, thinking that is probably going to be the first. There's definitely something wrong that they need to check first on board the KLM Embraer over there to Inverness. No, wait, that's the KLM Embraer 190 to Göteborg standing there. Hey there, Glenn, good morning. Anthony, goedemorgen. Right, well, KLM to Inverness is holding short, so I'm thinking the next departure is probably going to be Air Baltic. Then again, I have been wrong on multiple occasions in this respect. I have to keep checking. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Be prepared to make a switch. No, I'm hearing the engine whine. This one is definitely going first. Hey Simi, goedemorgen. Michael, goedemorgen. South Island Aviation, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are here at the Polderbaan for departures. Apparently there's something wrong with KLM flight 1231 to Göteborg, causing all the other airplanes to having to go around it, making airplane inception shots. Buddy boo, buddy boo. Tough luck for us. Presumably, cheater will now go first because at the threshold the wide bodies are lining up. So this is KLM flight 901 to Inverness in Scotland. Embraer 190. Behind it on the threshold, KLM 777-200 to Houston, lining up, flight 661. Alright. What up, Captain? Hey there, Glenn. Hey there, Storm Eagle. Hey there, Lady Starbrook. Good morning. Marijke, goedemorgen. Marcus, goedemorgen, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. So yeah, wind is blowing from the northeast, I would say. Judging by the cloud streets, the linear cloud formations that all seem to emanate from over there. X marks the spot right next to the sun. Contrails visible here and there. It's beautiful. We have an Embraer 190 that has been standing still there now for several minutes, causing all the other traffic to go around it. A queue of 4, including this airplane, now for the threshold. This is KLM flight 661, a 777-200 destination Houston in Texas. It's the Papa Hotel Bravo Quebec Kilo. And that airplane is 20 years old already. The first flight was in January 2005. After that, KLM flight 601 to LAX and EasyJet to Person-Chester, followed by a KLM, also to Person-Chester. Back-to-back airplanes to Person-Chester. We also have a departure of a Widebody from center. Busy, busy, busy. Jolande, goedemorgen. Jorik, goedemorgen. Thomasuna, good morning. Roy, goedemorgen. Welkom terug. Uzbekistan 101, good morning and welcome. Corrie, goedemorgen. En Jaap. Alright, next up, KLM flight 601 to LAX 78710. It's the Bravo Kilo Mike. After that, two back-to-back airplanes to Chester. The Embraer 190 is still standing there, motionless, as it has been for minutes now. Not exactly sure what's going on there. Has anybody been listening to ATC? Does anybody know more? Please enlighten us in the chat if you do know more. And it seems we have crossed through 200 legs already. Thank you all so much for that. If you are enjoying what you've been seeing thus far and you want to help this channel for free, consider adding to the likes or maybe subscribing if you haven't done so already. It'll help us reach a wider audience of aviation lovers who just haven't heard of the channel yet. Lovely, lovely backdrop. Have a look at this. That's the Netherlands for you. Another wide body taking off from the center runway as well. It too flying out against a beautiful backdrop. Whoa! I said wide body, but it sounded heavy. It's quote unquote just an A321neo. It sounded heavier than it was. I also sometimes have that with... Oh, what's that I'm hearing? It also sometimes happens with 737s that sound more wide-bodied than they actually are. Punching above their weight, as it were. I thought I heard something over there. I thought it was going to move or something. Doesn't seem to be the case. I'm wondering... Yeah, no, that's something unrelated. Alright. Next up, two consecutive departures to Manchester. An A320neo from EasyJet, followed by an A321neo by KLM. Hadi Roy, goedemorgen kerel, good to see you again. Deborah, good morning. And Deborah is tuning in from wet and cold Sydney, Australia. Good evening to you then. Make sure you stay warm. Spring is upon you on the southern hemisphere. On paper. Just like how we are slowly but surely gravitating towards autumn. Right. A quick overview will tell us that things are starting to get cloudy in all quadrants of the sky. Looking to the south, a bit more cloudy than it was before. Looking to the east, definitely a bit more cloudy than it was before. Looking to the north, well, not much has changed. Cloud streets in the direction emanating from the north east. But they do seem to grow also to the west, a bit more cloudiness. Another wide body from the center runway just now taking off. And the KLM A321neo also spooling up. Flight 1031 to Chester. Right, look who has arrived on the scene. It's the airplane that didn't want to move at first. instance. It's KLM flight 1231 to Göteborg and Bravo 90. The PHEZY, Fizzy come, Fizzy go. The question is, will it leave or will it just taxi and vacate so that it can turn around? Well, no, if it had to go back, it could have turned around already. So it's going for a departure. Hello there, Captain. Nice to see you guys fixed what was wrong. Although we still haven't discovered yet what it was. If anybody discovers why they didn't leave immediately, let us know in the chat. Right, so that airplane is on its way, seemingly without any issues. Flight 1231 to Göteborg with a little delay, but not too far delayed. Contrasty sky, crisp blue sky and white grey clouds. Beautiful. Alrighty, next up. KLM, no, not KLM, Shamrock flight 603 to Dublin, Ireland. IDEP. Delta Echo Papa. Good evening, Will, who's tuning in from Hervey Bay in Queensland, Australia. Flight Devil 53, goedemorgen. Good morning. Yolo yo, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show. And welcome all others who may have joined us in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at Polderbaan. Runway 36 left, one of two runways open for outbound traffic. And this is KLM flight, what is it? 295, going to Edinburgh in Scotland. It's Fax B, Papa Hotel Alpha X-Ray Bravo. That's the second of the fleet, which got delivered in September, or at least that's when its first flight was, according to Flight Radar. So long ago already. Wow. Time flies, doesn't it? Just like these airplanes, or at least most of them. Most of them, most of the time. I love backdrops like this. You see them climbing out. Also, it makes you realize just how vast these clouds are. If you know that these are further away from us than the airplane is, and the airplane already isn't small. Makes you appreciate just how big everything is and how small we are, even though we like to think we are big and important. Air Baltic to Vilnius is taxiing to the runway threshold. Baltic flight 962, and we have a BA A320 Neo to Heathrow following, and another batch of airplanes is coming this way. Ryanair, SAS, American Airlines, Delta A330neo. More is coming. Well, I think I am going to layer up after this departure. Standing here with my vest on. Also brought my premium hoodie with me, which worked well last time I was out when it was a bit colder. With the wind and the sun hiding behind clouds, it does cool off rather rapidly. Quite a few airplanes are on their way again. BA is now on its way to the threshold, and there are a couple of airplanes approaching, including an American Airlines Dreamliner. Now, let me see. I'm going to mute my voiceover for a moment so that I can put my hat off in a moment. Let's see how to best approach this. First, right, bear with me. Right, should be back again. It's basically just cable management. My voiceover microphone is attached to my hat, so I have to take off my hat first before I can put my hoodie over my vest, and then I need to put back on the hat. Then reconnect the, or at least switch on the microphone again. Now I'm trying to lower the transmitter. Where is it? Stuck between my vest and my t-shirt. There it is. Carefully pull on the wire. Let's see if all is well. Yes, there we go. Microphone and the transmitter now once again firmly attached to the back pocket of my jeans. And this is Ryanair going to Dublin, I think. Ryanair flight 3101. In the meantime, goedemorgen RDB. Omer, goedemorgen, good morning. Egil, good morning. Clouds, good morning. Welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are here at the Polderbaan. which is one of the 2 runways in use for departures today. Wind is blowing from the northeast. SAS. And after that we are going to see 2 wide bodies by the looks of it. Or no, Norwegian is also continuing to the threshold. Nobody in Cheater's Lane. American Airlines and Delta will be taking off after this SAS has left. Next up, American Airlines flight 203, which will be leaving for Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's the November 872 Alpha November. This particular airplane is 5 years old, first flight July 2020. After that we are going to see Delta Airlines flight 143. Another departure from a wide body from center, of a wide body from center. KLM Dreamliner. And an American Dreamliner now taking off here. Good morning, J-Ro. Oh, sweet Jesus, look at this. It's a KLM Dreamliner headshot. Cheater's Lane. Effing amazing. What up, Captain? Hey, W says KLM 747 PHCKC in CDM, assigned to 36 left, takeoff time 11:18. That's local time or universal time? RKSK, good day. Rick, tuning in from Bribey Island. Welcome to the show, mate. Jij weer slijm, goedemorgen. Grandpa says in 15 minutes friends of mine are leaving to Johannesburg. Get that plane in view. You forgot to say please, mate. Delta Airlines flight 143 to Seattle, Washington. November 424 Delta X-Ray, the registration. The airplane is 2 years old. First flight May 2023. Check out that lovely backdrop. Gorgeous. Departures on days like today are my favorite. Good lighting. And also lovely cloudy backdrops against which these airplanes are leaving. You can see the preceding airplane over there still, turning away. They fly out and climb in the direction of the runway heading to the north. until they've reached the North Sea Canal, and then when their destination is to the west of the Netherlands, they'll start to turn in. I also missed a quad squad that is now doing an Air Icarus flying really close to the sun, on its way undoubtedly to Frankfurt, having passed right overhead here. That's one getting away, having gotten away, unfortunately. Good morning, John, and good morning to all others. This is Norwegian to Copenhagen and Max 8737, the Surto. That's Sierra Echo Romeo Tango Oscar. Doesn't seem to be having a grumpy person on the tail. Relatively new airplane, January 2024, first flight of this airplane. Alright, what else is underway? It's getting busy. We're seeing a familiar sight, a Delta A330 at the designated Delta parking spot. Howdy Tina, goedemorgen. Uriel, good morning. So yeah, a familiar sight, Delta A330 300 to New York JFK is standing over there and everybody is passing them. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, 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 yeah. Gerda, goedemorgen. In the meantime, KLM flight 1005 to London Heathrow is taking off from the threshold, an A321neo. Another airplane showing how it's done. What is up today with these airplanes? First, a KLM Embraer 190 that stood there. What was it, 10 minutes or so before continuing? Now once again, a familiar sight, a Delta A330. That airplanes have to taxi around to get to the threshold. Marijke says, I'm totally here for those Cartman imitations.
Oh yeah? Well, screw you guys, I'm going home.
Air Baltic up next. Air Baltic flight 618 to Riga. Right, KLM 747 pushed back. That's good. Yep, I can see it. KLM 591 is also has also been pushed back. If you guys could give me a heads up when it is lined up on the center runway. It's probably still going to take us several minutes. Unfortunately, you cannot see everything unless I zoom out and start scrolling, which I'm not going to do since I will be focusing mostly on what we can see closest by. Dunman Place says, is something wrong with that plane or is it just waiting for something? Yeah, it's waiting for a car to bring the passport of one of the pilots. They totally forgot the passport. So yeah, have to wait. Also, Karen was complaining that the food wasn't to her taste, so they're now ordering gourmet food, which also is going to be delivered. And then once Karen is satisfied, they'll be on their way. And once the pilot, of course, has his passport. Well, Delta has moved and is now queuing up behind the other airplane, so whatever it was, they've got it. Karen has her meal, the pilot has his passport, they're ready to go to New York. The third to depart. First up, KLM 1293 to Billund. That's the 737-700. As you can see, no Karen cabin. 591 assigned to 36 left. That's good news. Thank you, W, for letting us know. Typical Karens can't take them anywhere. Yeah. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Oh wait, maybe you can. Right. Next up, KLM flight 751, which is going to Quito, which is actually the capital of Ecuador. Not kidding. Using the sound effect in the right context for a change. KLM Asia will be flying to Latin Asia, where Quito is located. It's the PHBQI. After that, Delta Airlines flight 47 to New York JFK. The one that took a little while, but now will be leaving for New York if all is well. On the microphone you can probably start hearing the engines of the Delta A330. That means they've turned towards us, towards the microphone, which means without even having to look behind me, I can tell that the Delta A330 has lined up on the threshold right now. And looking around, it has. More Deltas have arrived on the scene over here. More airplanes are coming. The Delta that has arrived is flight 57, so this is 47 lined up. 57 will be next after that. Peter, goedemorgen. And thanks for the kind words. Michael, goedemorgen. stranger was asking about the Karen cabin. You can see an example of a Karen cabin over here. It's a private suite for Karen. And usually far away, removed from the people in business and first in the front of the airplane. For obvious reasons. Our next airplane is going to be Delta Airlines Flight 57. We saw 47 just now. This is 57 to Salt Lake City in Utah. It was a 300 that we saw just now, and this is a Neo, the November 431 Delta X-Ray. Brand new airplane, will turn 1 in October this year. Martin, good morning. Welcome back, mate. So Farnborough is great today. Over here, it is also great, but nowhere near as great as we had on Sunday. In fact, the majority of the sky over here, luckily, still is blue for the time being. Making for beautiful contrasty skies and backdrops. Also good visibility of Contrails today. Right, so big picture wise, what do things look like over here? This is looking to the north. The wind, you can probably tell, is coming from over there. There's a cloud street, Wolkenstraat as we call them in Dutch, literally translated to English, it's cloud street. And you can see why, a linear pattern of clouds parallel to one another in the direction of the prevailing wind. So the wind is coming from over there, northeast. On the scale of chimney smoke, that is what it looks like. So the Delta A380 climbing to the north, where things look like so. Currently the west is looking like this. Looking landward to the east, it looks like so. And things to the south currently look like this. SAS with a wide-tipped nose. SAS flight 822 to Oslo. After that, we are going to see a 737 from El Al to Tel Aviv, flight 238. And it seems that we've crossed through 300 likes. Thank you all so much for that. I'm happy to see you guys are enjoying what you've been seeing thus far. I hope that goes for everybody. If you do enjoy what you've been seeing and you want to support the channel for free, consider adding to the likes if you haven't done so already, or maybe subscribing to the channel. Those are free, easy ways to help the channel reach a wider audience. Michael, good morning, and top of the morning to Senor Rodriguez. Evan is also back. How's life, mate? Hope you've been well. SAS on its way to Oslo. It has a Karen cabin. Nice and spacious even. Looks more spacious than the one on the Widebody just now. Which is interesting because if I had to guess, I would say that American Karens are a bit more voluminous than European Karens on average. Now that might be speculation and prejudice on my end. And if I'm wrong, I'll happily stand corrected, but just a hunch. Anyway, El Al up next to Tel Aviv. No lasers or anything protruding on the outside, on the exterior. Although rumor has it that they are all equipped with them. I'm not sure if that's a fact or if that... What does ChatGPT say about that? Do all El Al airplanes have anti-missile systems on board, or is it just a couple? Just curious. Lars, goedemorgen. Gerard, goedemorgen. More Delta in the background. Delta flight 135 to Detroit is what you saw. LL doesn't facilitate the Karens, as you can see. She'll just have to sit with the plebs in the main cabin. She's gonna want to speak to the manager about that. Do they have any idea who she is? Unbelievable. We're also pretty soon going to see a 747 that is now taxiing this way. The PHCKC shall be leaving from the Polderbaan pretty soon. Before that, Delta Airlines Flight 135 to Detroit, Michigan, the November 811 November Whiskey. Up and away she goes. En Michael Vogel is celebrating his 1 month membership anniversary. Op naar nog veel meer maanden, boy. Upwards and onwards to many more months is what he wrote in Dutch. Michael, dankjewel. Thank you so much for your support. I hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. And let me know if something is running amiss. Is amiss or running low, I should say. My English is starting to fail me. That means I'm sobering up. Means I need more vodka instead. Thank you so much for the support, Michael. Hope you're going to stick around in the lounge for many more months to come. Quick sip of AMS vodka. Oh, no. W was referring to a Beluga in the vicinity of Alkmaar. And let me just show you how well visibility is when the sky is clear, even if that thing is not producing a contrail because it is so big and because the sky is crisp, I can see it. I said it before. That's not too far-fetched. That is a flipping Beluga. What a chunker. It's a pity about the wind. Makes it hard to get it really stable on such long focal lengths. But yeah, there it is. In the meantime, EasyJet just now took off, and I was in the process of taking a sip of vodka. KLM flight 1989 to Ljubljana in Slovenia is next to take off, number 175. Just a quick sip and then it is back to the camera controls. From Chester to Bremen, there you go. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, if there's no clouds in the way and we have a nice dark blue, low humidity, good contrasty backdrop, it's easy to see those airplanes, even if they're not producing a contrail. Well, I'm going to skip the Embraer 175. This is much more interesting to film. The CKC has arrived on the scene. KLM Cargo, operated by Martin Air, it's going to go to Dubai World Center. It's Papa Hotel, Charlie Kilo Charlie. Embraer 175 in the foreground. I pity the young who haven't been around in the early 2000s or in the late 90s when Schiphol was so teeming with 747s. You couldn't turn around your head without seeing one or more. These days it's just cargo. Back then it was mostly passenger. I'm happy to have been able to live back then and were able to visit Schiphol back then. Much more carriers, much more difference in the number of airplane types. Bigger variation. Also, throwback to the past, 767. United Airlines Flight 21 to Houston in Texas. The November 654 Uniform Alpha. Clemencia, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody else. Perfect timing. KLM 747 is about to take off. Interesting if you look on Flight Radar, or at least what my Flight Radar is showing me, that this airplane already took off or departed 20 minutes ago. So I'm wondering, when did they start the clock for this flight? Was it on pushback? Was it upon taxi? Was it earlier already? Really interesting to see that this airplane, according to Flight Radar, already is 20 minutes on the way. 32 years old, first flight October 1992, when I was still firmly in elementary school, for a couple of years left, a couple more years. Next up, KLM Flight 591, another KLM Asia, which is flying to Johannesburg, which is in South Africa. It's the PHBQM, Bravo Quebec Mike. That vehicle is 19 years old already, first flight was in March 2006. After that, we are going to see the 747. Uriel flown to Hong Kong with the 747 a long time ago. I am jealous. I have yet to fly on a 747, and I know I have to make haste before it's going to be too late. Selwyn, goedemorgen, good morning. And welcome to the show, everybody else who have joined. In the meantime, you're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at Polderbaan, 36 left. Wind is blowing from the northeast, and that means departures to the north. And I can hear, and you can hear it as well. All of a sudden you start hearing the engines of the 747. That means that the inlets are turned our way. Means it is lined up. Airplane engines apparently are noisier from the front than from the back. I've stood behind the runway when airplanes were taking off from them. It's much quieter than when you're standing on the side or in front. Really weird. Anyway, don't know why that is, but it was something I noticed. Martin has flown on the 747 both with Thai and Eva Air. I still have a picture here at the Polderbaan from the early 2000s when I had a shitty camera, but it took a picture, a couple of megapixels, of an Eva Air 747. I'm not sure if it landed or if it took off. I think it landed. I've used it as a thumbnail once, but nobody noticed. I used retro pictures twice, an Eva Air 747 and an MD-11, I think it was, from Northwest, from the old Spottersplatz at the Kaagbaan. Anyway, 747 time, ladies and gentlemen. The CKC, going to Dubai, 21 years old. Welcome to the Netherlands. KLM 747 against a Dutch cloudy backdrop. Can it be more Dutch than this? In the meantime, a very warm welcome to everybody who is joining in the meantime. Marky, good morning. Mr. Singleton, good morning. John. Ashley, good morning. And perfect timing if you were just in time to see Her Majesty take off. Mario, guten Morgen. Herzlich willkommen. Whoa! Obviously everything that will follow this is going to be a downer. The next airplane will be KLM flight 1918. No, 1219. Zoom out, you can also see the smokiness of Her Majesty's engines. Back in the early 2000s, smoking was still more common than it is these days, and you can see that she's from that era. Is this a twin jet or a quad? It's a twin. It's a 777-300 from Emirates. Right, 737 to Stockholm, KLM flight 1219. Next after this we are going to see KLM flight 537, which is going to fly to Kigali. That's an A330-200. It's 11:15 and all outbound traffic will take the Polderbaan at least until approximately 11:40. So this is KLM flight 537 to Kigali, which is somewhere in... This is the PHAOB FWAB. Uriel has to go again. Time flies when watching your streams. That is a pity, isn't it? When you have to go. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully see you again pretty soon. Showtime for the A330. Well, the sun is shining over there still. Over here it has become shady. A shady figure is talking to you. Although how long it's going to stay shady remains to be seen. Looking up, right now in the immediate vicinity of the sun we do have clouds. Then again, looking west of me, things are mostly blue still. So, and the wind is blowing from over there. You can see how the streets of clouds are forming parallel to one another in line with the wind. Pretty sure it's going to open up again at some point. And until then, let's just enjoy the coolness of the shade. This is Bra Athens flying on behalf of SAS. Flight number 556 to Stockholm. Swedish registered airplane SERGD Romeo Golf Delta. And good morning Arthur, who says only a fucker would make it more Dutch. Indeed it would. And good morning Nielsje, goedemorgen. Samir, goedemorgen. Alles goed, met jou ook Samir. Athens. Is it Athens? Athens? I'm not sure. Storm Eagle says Airbrigade had a go around for 06 and now landed on 36 right. We saw that on Sunday, when were we? Yeah, one of the weekend days last week we saw that as well. An early go around, which I am still unsure why it happened. I'm still unsure of. Nice colorful tail. Hey, I spy with my little eye a cheer. KLM Embraer 175 to Düsseldorf. American Airlines to Dallas is approaching and lining up on the threshold, so the narrowbody is going to precede the widebody. This is KLM flight 1799 to JD's hometown of Düsseldorf. Anybody home in the cockpit? What up, Captain? Right. Once again, the sun has begun to shine over here. Zigazar, good morning. Welcome back, mate. And Bob, welcome back, mate. Also tuning in once again. Very wet Sydney, Australia. We've heard it already. Not the best of weather. Spring is upon you. Autumn is upon us. Although over here, at least in the next few days, the sun is still going to shine relatively abundantly. The wind is blowing from the northeast today. You can see the linear cloud street formations indicating the direction of the wind. Next departure from the threshold of the Polderbaan is going to be American Airlines Flight 221 to Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. The November 877 Bravo Foxtrot. This is an airplane that is 4 years old. First flight December 2020. And Sander, goedemorgen, good morning. We also have Tui arriving here on the scene. That's the Dreamliner. We'll be flying to Boner. Hey Pete, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, mate. Pete, welcome to the show, mate. It's been a while since we last saw a departure with a Hachu issue. Come to think of it. For a moment I was thinking, is the gear going to retract or not? But then the hatches opened. Oh, I stand corrected. I thought there was one TUI coming, but there are two, two TUIs. Two TUI Dreamliners, one and then the other. That's something that we don't see every day, that two Dreamliners are taking off back to back. Lovely. Hey Albert, goedemorgen. And thank you for the kind words. And also, thanks for saying hi in the chat. Albert Steenbergen just now subscribed and also commenting in the live chat. If you are new to the channel, or maybe you're not new but you've been spending your time mostly in Lurkers Lounge, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many people are watching. They usually are friendly. Some of them can give you good answers. They can all give you crazy answers. Time for another TUI Dreamliner. I'm wondering, is there anybody in that vehicle even? It does look like it. Yeah, there's actually somebody sitting there moving. Was just curious because that car was already parked over there and has been since I arrived this morning. So even before having set up here, that car was already there. It's been standing there all the while, hasn't moved an inch, which is why I was wondering, is there even somebody in that car to begin with? But it seems there is. This is TUI flight 367 to Willemstad, Curaçao. GG Game says Birdstrike TUI. I also thought I saw something, but it was happening quickly, so I wasn't sure that I did. But I also thought I saw something. He's working, can't you see? Maria says, well, hardly. Hard to see. I see somebody in there. It's unless it is a puppet. He's breathing. I guess that can be considered to be work. Anyway, it could be that was indeed a bird strike because the TUI is over there and bird control is over there. So I think we did actually see a bird strike from that first TUI. I also thought I saw a bird on the left of the airplane dropping. I think it was around the rotation point. You guys can see the replay. ATC also said bird strike. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was surprised that I was able to see it, but I think I also saw it happening. And that is a 767 coming this way. United Airlines, flight 947 to Washington. Hey, and look what's in the background on the move. That is Singapore Airlines. And if that's an outbound airplane and not an arrival, it's going to come this way. So at the moment things are shady over here, and that's because there's a big chunk of Cloud Street right in the way of where the sun is shining. It's annoying because there's a big blue part of the sky right behind me. So I'm a bit annoyed that right where we are standing the sun isn't shining. There you go. And it is outbound, that's good news, so that means we are going to see the A350 from Singapore in a few moments as well. Paul is also back in the chat, good to see you, Paul. We're waiting for the runway to be cleared again. Before this TUI Dreamliner, there was another TUI Dreamliner and it struck a bird. I think it was even visible. I thought I saw it happening, but I wasn't sure, so I thought let's just say nothing. GG Games noticed it. You can probably see it on the replay. I thought it happened on the left hand side. I thought I saw a bird dropping. Anyway, runway seems to have been cleared again. This is the second consecutive TUI. It also looks like there's a CRJ coming our way. CRJ to Munich. Lufty. Turkish 777 also on the platform. Haven't come alive. If you joined us later, you probably or might have missed the departure of the PHCKC, the KLM Cargo 747, which took off earlier this morning from the Polderbaan. I think it must have taken off half an hour or so ago. Not exactly sure about the timing, but it did take off from Polderbaan earlier in the morning, not too long ago. This is United Airlines, which is going to fly to Washington, D.C. The November 649 Uniform Alpha. It's a 767-300. 33 years old, first flight July 1992. Next after that is going to be a CRJ. Now, wouldn't it be nice if that CRJ took Cheater's Lane and we got to see a headshot of it? Don't think that we are, but fingers crossed. Let's manifest it. Good morning, Storm Eagle. Good morning, Xanders. And good morning to all others who have joined in the meantime. You're still watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at Polderbaan. Runway 36 left. Wind from the northeast. Departures to the north. This is United Airlines to Washington. Also featured earlier was a Beluga flying overhead to Bremen. Was flying to the north of us in the vicinity of Alkmaar, but in a blue part of the sky where we could easily see it, even though at the time it wasn't producing a contrail. Was quite easily recognizable as such. And that's a lovely backdrop against which these airplanes have been climbing out all morning. Next up will be Lufty Flight 2303. Destination Munich in Bavaria in the south of Germany. CRJ 900 long range. It's the DAC CNC. No? DAC NC. Delta Alpha Charlie, November Charlie. That's an airplane 16 years old. First flight May 2009. Right. And that's what happens if you don't lock the tilt axis, which I also sometimes forget. And then when I do lock it, I oftentimes forget to unlock it again. Like now I need to unlock it. Then we can follow the airplane and also move up and down. Alrighty. Steep climb angle. Eager to get into the air. Right. A thing of beauty that just now left And another thing of beauty that is arriving over here, it's the Singapore Airlines A350 flight 323 to Singapore. You're right, Lance. If Captain Jerry were here, he'd be telling us all about his tilt axis. Yeah. How has he been? Is he home already? Has anybody heard? Hey Jan, morgen. Good morning. Singapore Airlines, flight 323. Where's it going to fly to? You'd never guess. In a million years. So I'll tell you right away, it's going to Singapore. What? Indeed, Glenn. Just gorgeous is exactly what I would also describe the livery as. It's basically a timeless retro livery, is what it is. And that in combination with the sleek features, the sleek curves of the A350 makes it one of the prettiest airplanes out there right now, in my humble opinion. And on its way it goes. Once again, the sun is starting to begin to shine here. It seems that the cloud streets have moved a bit further. More are coming, but for the time being, it looks like we are entering that big field of blue sky that I showed you earlier. Alan, goedemorgen. And good morning to everybody else. Conventia hasn't heard from Captain Jerry, also not in other streams. Well, thanks for letting me know. Quad squad, Contrail inbound alert. Let's have a look and see what this is. That's a big fat A380 from Emirates by the looks of it. Is that Manchester to Dubai? Might be. Big fat contrail standing out, and with the sun on the other side of us, this is the most contrasty that the picture will get. Right now I'm very focused on filming this airplane as stably as I can. Camera is pointing up, that means my phone screen with the live chat is pointing down. I'm not able to see what you guys are writing right now. Have a look at this. It's getting near my zenith. Although it is going to pass north of me. This is probably the closest by. Now it's moving away. You can also hear that the center runway has opened for departures again. So that means it must be past 11:40. Absolutely lovely. Passing by, well, very close to my zenith. Delta Airlines Flight 49 arriving from flying to New York JFK. 39,000 feet above, there you go. Alan has to go. Time to piss off people. Make sure you do, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully see you again soon. Mike Wild and Josegi also back in the chat. Good to see you both. This is Delta Airlines Flight 49. Another flight to New York JFK. A330 Neo. November 434 Delta X-ray. Martin says lunch break, see you later. Eet smakelijk. Bon appetit. And thank you, Maria. Now, big picture overview. This is what it looks like to the north. This is the direction the wind is blowing from and the clouds are approaching us from. The northeast, northwest, the west. Looking land inward to the east, southeast, south, and lastly, southwest. In the meantime, a KLM Dreamliner has lined up here on the threshold of 36 left. This is KLM flight 691, which will be leaving for Toronto in Canada, the PHBKQ, Bravo Kilo Quebec. Seems fitting that an airplane with Quebec in the registration is flying to Canada. Brand new airplane, first flight July 2025. This is one of the latest in the fleet of KLM. Only last month did it start flying. Comes equipped with a spacious cabin as you can see. She'll be pleased with that. She'll also probably like the fact that the cabin is placed more to the front, to the business class end of the airplane. And up, and away it goes. Well, I was looking around me to see if I could spot any interesting contrails coming this way. And it seems that we have broken through 400 likes, according to Maria. Thank you all so much for the support. If you do like what you are seeing and you haven't given a like yet, consider doing so if you want to help this channel for free. Likes and subscriptions help to bring in new people and to promote the channel's content to viewers who haven't met the channel yet, who don't know of its existence. Karen certainly gets a good view, absolutely. Karen will have to sit in the back on JetBlue, unfortunately for her. And what's that? That's Air Europa flying out to Madrid. Where is it? There it is. Parallel departures have once again resumed and are going to stay in progress until approximately 1 p.m. Now, JetBlue is flying to Boston, Massachusetts. This is an A321neo, the November 4022 Juliet. Optimus Toaster also back in the chat and is celebrating a membership anniversary, 17 months. I got carried away with biscuits, we need more. Well, thank you, Optimus Toaster, for the heads up. What type of biscuits should I put on the groceries list for you? Anyway, thank you so much for the ongoing support. 17 months and counting. That means 7 more months before you'll start joining the blue team. With the exception of the biscuits running low, I hope everything else is still to your liking in the lounge. If not, let me know. And thank you so much for your ongoing support. Hope you're going to stick around for many more months to come. Preferably in the lounge, obviously, but if not, then hopefully at least as a regular frequent visitor. Now, Turkish is leaving via the wrong runway.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
Turkish Airlines 777-300 to Istanbul. Oh, and a nice combo shot. Hope you guys were able to see it. It just went behind the clouds over there. I think that, yeah, there it is. A previous outbound flight. Air Europa. So, after having done a 180, now flying to the south east of the airport. On its way to Madrid. Jetstream Germany is also back in the chat. Good to see ya. Hobnobs, Tim Tams. Why don't I just get them all? Why choose if you can have it all? I am unsure that we are able to get hobnobs on our side of the channel, Optimus. Are those typical British or are they more international? Because you might find some expat stores that might have them in cities, in Amsterdam for instance. The regular supermarkets I don't think have hobnobs or anything else than regular tea biscuits. We have all sorts of biscuits. But no hobnobs, at least to my knowledge. Martin also going out for the walk. Enjoy the walk and have a nice day if we don't see you again today. Lufty! Latest custom emoji. This one in the appropriate livery. The old livery with the yellow logo. Yeah, it's not yet weekend. Let's not use the custom emojis. Save them for a rainy day. Where's the traffic to the Polderbaan? Are they doing an inspection in the meantime? Looking around, looking to the north. I do think I see the bird control with the lights on over there. Where did I see them? There. Looks like there is a runway inspection in progress at the moment. That's okay. That also sometimes has to happen, particularly if there already has if already a bird strike has happened earlier in the morning. That still leaves us with a lot to see here at Schiphol Airport, such as this flight 266 to Warsaw. Looking very polished. You can see even Karens can fly on this airplane. Separate cabin. E2 Embraer 195 on its way. James Mail asks, will you be replacing the playtime emoji now that Play have pulled out most EU flights? Well, first of all, they're still going to fly to Amsterdam until somewhere in October, last time I checked. And yeah, the question is what we'll do after that. I'm thinking, since the custom emojis are a thing for members, the members should get to decide. So I'll probably open up a poll at some point to see, what do you guys want? Do you want to keep it? because it's still fun to use at certain moments, or do you want to replace it? And if so, we'll probably run another poll or call for ideas first. Just as with a new vacancy, after another membership barrier has been broken. Dear Contour unfortunately has to leave his train at Charles de Gaulle. Well, all the best, mate. Thanks for stopping by and have a safe journey. There's also a truck over there, which I'm not sure where it's driving to. Initially I thought that this was Schiphol area, but I'm not sure. I've studied the map. I think it might also be going to a farm. Which apparently you can reach via a road that leads over there. Runway inspection still in progress, as you can see. This is which Kivit K1. K1 with the latest Ranger Raptor Ranger version, or at least that's what Alvin immediately noticed when he saw this for the first time. K1 used to be a VW pickup truck. That now has become K5. And last time I checked, the license plate of K5, the VW, still said K1. Not sure if they've already fixed that. Race says 25 October according to my agenda. I'm assuming you mean that's until when Play will still be servicing Schiphol? Well, there you go. By that time, probably the works around the Polderbaan have finished just about. Excavators are busy over there. I haven't seen any excavation work north of us, but maybe now they have. I do. Oh yeah, that excavator certainly wasn't there yet. So, and that person also wasn't there yet earlier. So. It does look like now they have started continuing with finishing the reinforcement, the dike reinforcement further to the north. I'm still curious to see how long it's going to take before all that additional sand and whatnot has been removed. You can see over here the barrier is finished. It looks really neat and tidy. Those poles at a regular interval, and then those boards are placed behind them. And without the need to place seeds or anything, you can see that the sand is already starting to get overgrown. Now, if all is well, the runway inspection is more or less done, and according to Flight Radar, the next airplane should become visible in the background from the right in a few moments. Delta Airlines Flight 237 to Tampa in Florida. Indeed, actually should be visible shortly. Hans Worst, goedemorgen, good morning. Wagner, bom dia. That embankment has grown grass quickly, indeed, Ashley. Same can be said for the bit over here. A couple of months ago, I was standing here and things were all sand. Now, it's hard for me to show you exactly where I am standing. Maybe I can. No, I don't think. Well, the pan bar is in the way. The pan handle. Over here, there's a semicircle that is barren, and this is my quote-unquote usual spot whenever I come here. And since I'm walking around my camera during each departure or arrival, for that matter, but over here, this is departures exclusively location, a departures exclusively location. But over here, where I have set up, you can see it's still barren. The rest overgrown already. That goes really quickly. I was surprised to see how quickly that went. Because over here a couple of months ago everything was also completely sand. And yeah, then spring came. Now they will have to start scheduling the lawnmower treatment here. Well, no, that's a bit exaggerated. Embraer 175 to Genoa in the background. BA is also coming this way. Delta A350 on the move. Delta flight 161 to Minneapolis. Delta Airlines flight 243 has also begun to move. Going to Boston. A330neo. PH Jet, Sebastian, good morning lads. Yeah, technically it is still morning. And welcome to the show everybody else who has joined. You're watching AMS Live still. My name is Boy, we're here at the Polderbaan, where departures are taking place from. Parallel departures have resumed again and are going to stay in progress until approximately 1 p.m. From 1 till 2, another power hour where in actuality it's an inbound rush hour because 2 runways for inbound traffic will be open. But that means only 1 runway open for outbound traffic, and that means everything going out will leave via the 1 open runway. And you already probably guessed which runway that is going to be. That's this one indeed. Also, Mehmet, once again, gifting a membership. Mate, thank you so much for your generosity. It's John Doe this time, who was the recipient. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, John Doe. Have fun with the custom emojis that you now have at your disposal for a month. And don't forget to say thank you to Mehmet. Mehmet, thank you for your kindness and generosity. And welcome, John Doe. This is Delta Airlines flight 237 to Tampa. November 808, November Whiskey. Alrighty. Glenn has to go. Mate, thank you for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day and hopefully see you again either tomorrow or maybe later in the weekend. Although I will not be streaming on Saturday. As I said before already, I will be going to sail with Lisa on Saturday. But I am going to do a compensatory stream on Monday. So 2 days on, 1 day off, and then 2 days on again. BA flight 431 to London Heathrow is coming this way. We have a 737 in the background. That's KLM flight 1167 to Bergen. And the A350 from Delta flight 161 to Minneapolis is also coming this way. Hey, and this is another one. This must be another one of those Taxibots. So the engines are probably out, or well, is that heatwave distortion, or is that just... Is that regular heat wave or is that the engines? Hard to see. Those engines might also still emanate heat waves from the previous flight. If the turnaround time is around an hour, I can imagine that the exhaust might still be warm and emanates warm air as well. So it's a bit hard to see. This is a pattern that we have seen before. I think this is a test with what also can be an unmanned taxibot. Well, I think it is a taxibot, but I have seen people on board, so I think I'm not sure if this is. I'm assuming that this is a machine that can also be operating unmanned, but I'm not sure 100%. I think we can clearly see that there's somebody in the cockpit, if you will. The nose is lowering. The nose is lowering. You can see that blue stripe dropping. Means that they are now letting go of the airplane so that the taxibot can drive away. Right, so there are people on board. Beep beep. Well, I'm not sure what if I'm assuming that this is supposed to become an unmanned vehicle at some point in the future that still has people on board, or this is just an experiment of taxiing some airplanes, tugging them all the way to over here before starting their engines. Not exactly sure. It's the future in it. I suppose it is. It's time for Delta Airlines Flight 161 to Minneapolis to be on its way. November 516 Delta November A350. 3 years old, first flight December 2021. Boom, brake dust, gear up, and away it is. Big picture overview at the moment. This is what it looks like to the north. Is there still blue sky? Yeah, here and there. Mostly west of me, looking to the north. The horizon is cloudy, and there's also a big chunk of cloudiness looking to the northeast, which happens to be the direction the wind is blowing from. It's also in the way of the sun right here, right now. Looking to the east, you can see also a bit of openness still, but mostly to the west. This is what things look like to the south. So it's a typical summery day where landinward most of the clouds are, and the closer you get to the coast, the more blue it gets. Also, Ulf, herzlich willkommen. Welcome to the show, everybody else. This is another Delta. This is a Delta Airlines Flight 243 to Boston, Massachusetts. The November 430 Delta X-Ray. It's a A330 Neo. Whoa. Gilberto is tuning in from Italy, and Ita is flying back to Italy, but via the wrong runway. Those bastards. We want to see them take off from this runway. Thijs, goedemiddag. And good afternoon to everybody else. Right, it's time for another 737. One of the many. This one going to Bergen, flight 1167. The PHBXZ, Papa Hotel, Bravo, X-Ray, Zulu. Comes equipped with a very spacious carrying cabin in the back, as you can see. The airplane, 17 years old, first flight February 2008, so already 17 years, well, or did they retrofit it? That can also be the case. I was about to say already 17 years ago, they already were taking Karens into consideration, but maybe this one is retrofitted. So yeah, thus far one KLM 747 to Dubai that we have seen taking off from this runway. Not sure if we're going to see more 747s. Obviously I'm hoping that we will, but I don't know for sure. With departures, I've stopped looking at the departure schedule because oftentimes the 747s that are listed are departing not at all or at completely different times than the schedule says. This is KLM flight 915 to Aberdeen, E2 Embraer 195. The wind is definitely not calming down. An aftermarket Karen cabin. Yeah, I don't think we didn't have Karen 17 years ago, did we? That's a new phenomenon, relatively speaking. Let's have a look at the visualization of the wind and weather for a moment. We have the time. The ticker is automatically updating the METAR. That's always the latest, but sometimes it is nice to see the visualization. So the runway we are standing next to is oriented like so. And according to the METAR, interestingly, the wind is blowing from the north. Headwind for the airplanes departing, 12 knots of wind. Few clouds and 20 degrees is the temperature and visibility. Few clouds at 3,600 feet. The air pressure is 1,014 hectopascals. So yeah, not much to write home about. Next airplane taking off is an E2 Embraer 195. Destination Aberdeen. Quiet as a mouse. Spacious carrying cabin in the back. So yeah, the sun is hiding behind the clouds that are now right overhead. Well, nearly rightly overhead. The thing is, when I look behind me, there's a lot of blue. It's a bit frustrating to see that the sun, which is somewhere over there, is not yet where the sun is free to shine. Will take a few more hours before it's going to travel further to the south, if the orientation of the clouds will not change vis-a-vis what it is right now. Storm Eagle says Cargo Lux 747 using 36 center. Looks like it is lining up right now. Now there's an angry Chinese triple coming this way. And another ETA, which already took off early. If all is well, the next departure from the center runway is going to be Cargo Lux to Luxembourg. Probably is going to rotate early as well. And Rodney is also back in the chat. Rodney South celebrating 9 months of membership. He says, good morning, boy. Here's to many more. Mate, thank you so much for your ongoing support. Hope everything in the lounge is still very much to your liking. Let me know if something is amiss or if we need to resupply stuff. I already took note of the biscuits that are running low. If there's anything else, let me know. Hopefully you're going to stick around for many more months to come, Rodney. If not as a member, then at least as a regular frequent visitor, but hopefully as the latter. So, coming to the Polderbaan, we are going to see an angry Chinese triple pretty soon. I'm keeping the camera focused to the background because we are going to see Cargo Lux in a few moments. It looks like it has begun to roll. The Lima X-Ray Uniform Charlie Victor Cargo Lux Italia on its way to Luxembourg. Expect a relatively steep climb from a relatively light and overpowered airplane. 21-year-old airplane, first flight April 2004. There it is already. How often do you see wide bodies like this already airborne so early? Lightweight. You can see already it's climbing like it's a freaking Embraer. Climbing like an Embraer, like you just don't care. I'm also seeing Contrails. No, that's over there. What's this? More Emirates? No, it has blue. Okay, what's that then? Plus there's also something coming this way. That's probably a narrow body, right? BA? Question mark? Not sure. Undoubtedly you guys can see better than I can. Here also two contrails. And one going the other direction. That looks like a Dreamliner, judging by the wing shape. Right, well. Meanwhile, an angry Chinese is coming over to visit. There it is. Austrian 777 to JFK. Second was Ryanair Copenhagen to London. In the meantime, Dennis W, goedemiddag. Good to see ya. Welcome to the show, mate. And welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at the Polderbaan. Runway 36 left. 1 of 2 runways for outbound traffic until 1 o'clock, and then from 1 till 2, it's just the Polderbaan open for departures. If you join us later, you may have missed the departure of the PHCKC 747 from K&M Cargo, which went to Dubai World Center earlier this morning. We also got to see the overhead Beluga quite well. And a Chinese triple with a KLM Embraer behind it to Oslo. Not sure if the narrowbody is going to use Cheater's lane. I'd say there's a reasonable likelihood that it will. Hadi Marike, goedemiddag. Welcome to the show, everybody else. And Dennis, thank you so much for your lunch contribution. Thank you so much, mate. I definitely have to pick up lunch somewhere on the way. I'm going to be driving to Hilversum to the AV store after I'm done streaming immediately to get my drag mechanism for the pan axis replaced. More drag needed so that the footage is more stable during windy conditions. Thank you so much, Dennis, for the lunch contribution. Make sure you have eaten yourself as well. As expected, the Embraer 175 taking Cheater's lane. Making sure it's airborne before the triple will. Hey Hilversum, daar woon ik, Thijs 6. Nice. And Michael also back in the chat, good to see you, mate. Bob is back soon. See you soon, Bob. It is a pity that the sun isn't shining. That would be the icing on the cake. The cherry on the cake. Turn and burn, question mark. Turn and burn, exclamation mark. So the Embraer will not have to wait for the wake turbulence of this 777 to dissipate. It's already on its way. Next up is going to be Chorno Southern Cargo to Shanghai. Flight 496, 777 freighter, Bravo 2041, 12-year-old airplane, first flight June 2013. Hank says in Dutch, nice footage, boy. I'm watching on the TV and it just looks like it's going to drive into the living room. Yeah, I can imagine that is very nice to see on a big TV. Hopefully the bitrate is somewhat decent. I was afraid that maybe today we were going to see some buffering issues because it looked like my internet connection was a little slow in the early morning, which is also why I started maybe a minute later. I was trying to restart the modem a few times to see if the speed test results were better. They weren't, so I figured let's hope for the best. Jeff also back. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. Hope all is well. That goes for everybody. Welcome to the show, guys. Right, well, we had to wait for it for a while, but it does look now like the sun is going to enter the bit of sky that is mostly open. The sun over there, the clouds drifting away, and look over here. It's big and blue over here, so I'm hoping we are going to see the sun again. Makes for a nicer picture. Dennis wonders, when are we going to see the nice dance again? That will happen when we cross through 1,000 likes while live. The first one will be at 1,000. The second one, if we ever get to that again, will be at 1,500. Indeed, Maria, I always stream on Thursdays until Sunday, weather permitting. Though not this Saturday, because I will be going to sail on Saturday. So I'll do a compensatory stream on Monday instead. So today, tomorrow, and then Sunday and Monday for this week. Weather permitting, of course. If all's well, it should stay reasonably dry. And indeed, to see the dance, hit the like button. It's all up, it's all in your hands in that respect. I'm pretty sure not everybody likes the airplane dance, and I'm pretty sure that that is also why we haven't been reaching 1,000 likes plus that regularly anymore. Not everybody wants to see it, which I can also imagine. E2 Embraer 195 is next. KLM flight 1139 to Dublin, Ireland. It does have the 1700th E-Jet sticker on it. Since it's such a big thing that it even gets a separate mention on Flight Radar, let me show you. Wow, that's a thing of beauty, isn't it? It's funny because that little sticker gets a separate mention on Flight Radar, while other stickers on other airplanes that are bigger don't get a mention. So yeah, try telling me what the logic is behind that. Rudy, goedemiddag. And good afternoon to everybody else. It seems that we have crossed through 500 likes, Maria says. Thank you all so much for that. Glad to hear you guys are enjoying what you're seeing. Hope that goes for all. If you want to help this channel for free, help us reach a wider audience, then liking the channel or the streams, if you haven't done so already, is the way to go. That looks like Finnair. Finnair is going to be back on its way to bloody Helsinki soon. It'll first have to taxi around the center runway, which now also is in use again. QJ also back in the chat. He wonders if there's still a rainbow flag on the Embraer of KLM. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while. Hey, and apparently it's a holiday on Monday in the UK, Jeff says. I didn't even know that. What kind of holiday do you guys celebrate on Monday then? Or is it just a nameless bank holiday or something? Morgen Gerrit. Gerrit has also arrived on the scene. Waar heb je je fiets gelaten? Ah. I was wondering where Gerrit left his bike. He always comes by bicycle, even though it is very windy. Or at least pretty windy to be cycling with headwind. Sorry? Oh, partly by rail. Cheaters lane. Cheaters rail, I should say. Well, rightly so. Rightly so. Adrie, goedemiddag. Shadow Killer King, good afternoon. Labor Day, Dirk wonders. And Martin is back from lunch. Mate, thank you for the super chat. You didn't have to use the super chat to let us know. Hope you've had a good lunch. Late summer bank holiday, there you go. Split Scimitar also back in the chat, good to see ya. Summer bank holiday. Okay, interesting. And I saw some notifications from Instagram coming in, Michael. I'll have a look when I'm done streaming, if I have time, later today. Happy to hear you guys had a great time. Looking forward to seeing your footage. Storm Eagle says Finnair looks like coming to 36 left. That's usually the case. Almost always when Finnair takes off, they take the westernmost runway. The wind is picking up a little bit. There's certainly a bit of arousal in the windsock. This is what the northeast is looking like. On ground, apparently the wind is coming from the north, according to the METAR. It looks like a bit higher up the wind is blowing from the northeast. The sun at the moment is shining in a blue part. Means that we are no longer in the shade over here. Two narrow bodies that are approaching the threshold. None of them choose to go via cheater's lane. Finnair A350 is now around the threshold. The A350 1000 from Cathay Pacific is also taxiing, but it is taxiing on the taxiway to the center runway, so we'll see that in the background pretty soon. First up, an E2 Embraer 195, which is going to Scotland, more precisely to Edinburgh. We already saw the 9 to 5 flight. This is the 9 to 7 flight, the overtime flight. After that, we are going to see a KLM Embraer 175 to Gdansk in Poland. That's flight 1305. Finnair has cleared the southern threshold of the center runway and is now moving up to the north on the west side of the center runway, so that's going to be arriving here pretty soon. In the meantime, we can enjoy ourselves with these two departures. KLM flight 97 to Edinburgh will be first, E2 Embraer 195. After that, KLM flight 1305 to Gdansk in Poland. This E2 is the PHNXO. The wheel sounds indicating a difference in the RPM of the engines, and in this case it is the engines going to takeoff thrust. Spacious carry-on cabin in the back. And compared with those older airplanes that are bigger, these airplanes are so incredibly quiet. I'm inclined to say that the widebody that just now took off from the center runway here sounds more loud than the E2 did when it passed us by here. And that's nice. PH Jet reminding us that in about 25 minutes the Orange Pride is also going to leave. It was leaving to a destination to the west of us, right? So 36 left, or will it be going somewhere else? I don't remember where it is going to go to. This is KLM flight 1305 to Gdansk in Poland. Embraer 175. The PHEXZ Alpha X-Ray Zulu. I'm thinking after this departure we ought to start seeing the Finnair A350 in the background. Always, always, always. The one that's getting away so regularly, Cathay Pacific, flight 270 to Hong Kong, the A350 1000. In the meantime, the Finnair A350 has become visible. There it is. And what a beaut. Hey, Lisa is also back in the chat. Good to see you, Lisa. For those of you joining us later, you may have missed the PHCKC's departure to Dubai World Center earlier in the morning. One of the remaining KLM Cargo 747s. We also got to see a glimpse of the Beluga, which was flying to Bremen, north of us, without a contrail, but still easily visible because of the crisp blue backdrop and the contrast between the white airplane and the sizable size also helps. Big fat chunker. Twin jet contrail passing by south of me, relatively close by. I think it might be a narrow body, but why not have a look? Yeah, it looks like Lufty. That's Lufty, all right. Hey, movement, movement! The car is moving. Not only was there a person in it all the time, it arrived there already. It was already standing there before I arrived. When I arrived, it was already parked over there. It has been standing still there all the while now. Oh, we've scared it. It's going back now. It's reversing. Oh no, shouldn't have moved. They immediately notice. I know my place. Richard, goedemiddag. En goedemiddag and good afternoon to all others who joined us later. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boyd. This is Finnair, flight 1302 to bloody Helsinki in Finland. Meerkerk Infra van passed by in the foreground. Not sure what Infra is doing here. We need more workers to fix the dike in the north. Finnair is moving to the threshold. There's a KLM narrowbody with seemingly haste. I thought maybe it was going to use cheater's lane to go in front of the Finnair, but it's continuing. So they'll leave in the order of appearance. Tomasuna is asking an interesting question. Does an A350 carry more or less passengers than a Dreamliner? I think that will depend on the configuration. A350 900s versus A350 1000s versus 787-8s, 787-9 or 787-10s. I'm thinking a 787-10 will carry more people than an A350-900 will, but I'm not sure. I'll leave that one to you or to ChatGPT to answer. But a very interesting question nonetheless. This is the OHLWK on its way. This this A350 is already 8 years old. First flight was in June 2017. Ray says a standing seat Ryanair A350 will carry more. Roses are red, violets are blue. EasyJet will always, Ryanair will always carry more passengers than you. And Martin back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. This is KLM flight 1177 to Stavanger. Embraer 175. background, an A321neo just now took off to Malaga. Storm Eagle dove into the subject matter. 787-10 up to 330 pucks. A350-900 up to 440. A350-1000 up to 480. Wow, a 787-10 still only 330. Wow, I really thought that the 787-10 would trump the A350-900. Didn't know that the size difference was so big. I always used to think that the Dreamliner and A350 were direct competitors with respect to their capacity and ability to fly long distances, but apparently not. Hey, and dogs, welcome to the channel, mate. First time here. Nice of you to say hi. Not everybody does that. I'm always happy when people do say hi in the chat. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It's not mandatory, but it is always appreciated. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. There are many people here, and if we cannot answer the questions, ChatGPT can. Woke up and smelled the coffee. Good morning. And Ali, what are you doing? Ali just now gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much for that, Ali. You didn't have to do that. Very sweet of you that you did it anyway. Welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. If you are one of the recipients of Ali's gifted memberships, I was about to say Alan. Ali's gifted memberships, don't forget to say thank you to her. Have fun with the custom emojis. If you enjoy the membership, maybe consider renewing it once it starts to expire, or maybe gift somebody else a gifted membership. Give them the experience. Maybe they'll enjoy it as well. Ali, thank you so much for your generosity. You didn't have to do that. And welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. And Bro175 doing a turn and burn. This is KLM flight 1295 to Billund. Be free. Tuning in from The Hague. Welcome to the channel, mate. I'm happy to see that we still have that lovely cloudy backdrop against which these airplanes are all climbing out today. This is what it currently looks like looking to the north. This is what it looks like pointing the camera to the east. This is what things look like to the west. Right here is a big chunk of blue sky. And there's also a Contrail over there passing northwest to southeast north of me. Looks like a twin jet, but let's have a look and see. Oh, whoa, that's not hard to recognize. That's Condor, green Condor, instantaneously recognizable as such. It does seem that the wind has begun to pick up a little bit. Last time we checked the meter, the wind was 12 knots. We'll have to wait for the next one to appear. Hey, another Southern Cargo 777 freighter on radar, Storm Eagle says. And is this a new meter? It is. If you look in the ticker, you can see the latest meter, which now indicates wind from 020. So also on ground level now, wind from the northeast, 15 knots, directionality variable between 350 and 060 degrees. German Airways with the pointillism inspired new livery, the German flag in dots. Those pink airplanes from German Airways, we haven't seen them in a while. Are they still around or have they gotten repainted? The Adlers, there were two, weren't there? Does anybody know? They've got rid of Chucky. Have they gone on a cancel special liveries spree, and have they also taken care of the two pink Adlers? Must have been the case. Well, no, Herpa Derpa Derpa is still flying, so maybe Herpa was paying more than the others. Surely those companies must have paid German Airways for that livery. This is KLM Flight 1285 to Aalborg. Embraer 190, German Airways, flying for KLM City Hopper. It says so on the tin. Indeed, Storm Eagle, wind is picking up a bit. You can also see it here in the canal. And there's quite a bit of horizontality in the scale of chimney smoke. The smoke is blowing this way, more or less. Bird control is also coming this way. It was K1 earlier and it still is K1. No K9s here yet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, members, dust off your red emojis because we still have time to use it. And the next departure will be one to use it with. Paul also hasn't seen the Adler liveries for a while. Me neither. I'm thinking they're no longer. They're no longer among us. Cancelled quietly. Indeed, Dukeman. The windsock on Viagra, well, not fully erect, but definitely not flaccid either. Hadi Klaas, goedemiddag. Good to see you again. And thank you so much for your super chat, bait. You didn't have to do that. Having lunch with AMS Live. Hello to everyone. Hello to you too, mate. And thank you so much for your generosity. Hope all is well in Bremen. This is AG in the house. Well, I say in the house. It was in the house. It's leaving. Undoubtedly for Athens. Something red is coming our way, and pretty soon thereafter the Canadians are coming. Chinese Schiphol is also on the move. Unfortunately, an A330 to Nairobi will be leaving from the central runway pretty soon. Dion is asking, why is KLM using German Airways machines if their own E195 airplanes aren't flying? Well, you've answered it. It is a capacity question. I think that the E2s now once again are flying. There was a long time where there were engine issues and a substantial part of the E2 Embraer fleet of KLM City Hopper was grounded. That's when they started hiring those E2 Embraers, those Embraers from German Airways, among others. But apparently it's a capacity issue because they have continued flying with the German Airways Embraers, even though right now the E2 Embraer fleet is up and running again. And we also already saw a couple of Air France ops lately that also were flying on behalf of KLM City Hopper. Hadi Klaartje, goedemiddag. Air Alton, goedemiddag. And welcome to the show, everybody else. Bas, goedemiddag. Nice Porsche over there. And this is Play, one of the last months that we can use this emoji, at least for this airplane. If it's up to you guys, well, it is up to you guys. So if you say we don't want to retire the emoji, we'll just keep it in the roster. I'll start a poll at some point. Right now, until October, we can still use this custom emoji because Play will still be flying to Amsterdam. No need to retire this emoji just yet. Although, well, we will have to see what you guys will want to do with it. When Play will retire their flights to Amsterdam. Cab Down Cabby is tuning in from Belgium. Where in Belgium are you located? New car, indeed, Dukman. That's my Porsche that I can afford via all your super chats and gifted memberships. Would that I could. Maybe someday in the future. Then I still probably wouldn't buy a Porsche. No. I like cars. I also like... I also don't like how they immediately are a big write-off. It's a very fastly depreciating asset. Maybe if I'm a gazillionaire right now, a bit wasteful to buy it. Widebody Porsche 911, too big. And GT Car Photography wonders which runway the A380 is landing. I'm on the rooftop at Schiphol. Well, you're perfectly located to see the A380 land. Depending on its time of arrival. Wow, have a look at how this A330, by the way, is climbing like a mofo. And is it having a hot shoe issue? I think it is. Coming through, hot stuff. With the current wind, the A380 is going to land either on the Qatar, runway 06, or runway 36 right, the Aalsmeerbaan, and it depends on the estimated time of arrival. I didn't see what the ETA was for today's A380. If it's after 1 o'clock, it's going to land on 36 right, and at the rooftop terrace, you'll be perfectly located to see it land. And if it lands on 06, you can also still see it. Although it would be better if it were to land on the Aalsmeerbaan, because from the terminal building you can see it really well. And Mark H is also tuning in again from Hong Kong. Welcome back, mate. Hot shoe issue for the A330, which was climbing pretty steeply initially. Pilot John says that the A380 is going to arrive around 1:15. 99.99% certain that it's going to land on 36 right then. And if you are at the Panorama rooftop terrace, you'll be perfectly situated to see it land. No need to go anywhere. Yep, gear is retracting. The hot shoes have cooled down. Time for a Canadian bank robber. Insofar as we had any money left, this bank robber probably took it. En groetjes aan Issy van Klaas. Is she watching, is what I'm wondering. Air Canada Flight 809 to Toronto, Canada. On its way. 7878 Dreamliner. Scooting with the loot. And Canadians also facilitate to Karen's with a separate cabin for her. Ali says, that seems to have a hydraulics issue because the door stayed closed and the gear is tipped back, not forward, which would normally open the doors. I'm not sure. Not sure if that's the case. It usually, more often than not, is a case of hot brakes. I'm sure there are people more knowledgeable than I am in the chat that can answer with a higher degree of certainty. What I am able to say is that Mark H just now went ahead and gifted a membership to a name that is very hard to pronounce. Thunderful. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, name that I just mentioned. And I'm not going to give that another go. That's a complex name. Thank you so much, Mark, for your generosity. I hope that the recipient of your gifted membership will thank you for it sooner or later. Have fun with custom emojis. That goes for all people who receive a gifted membership. And make sure you use those custom emojis. That goes for all members, new and old. Doesn't matter if your membership is gifted or not. 34 custom emojis. Have fun with them. And Ali has to go. Thank you so much for joining, Ali. All the best. Good luck with what's left of moving. Assuming you're still in the process of doing that. Hope to see you again in the weekend. Richie Hopper on the move. And that security car was trying to hide, but we found out its hiding place, and in the meantime, as this airplane was moving to the left, the car moved back to the right. We're playing hide and seek with the security guy. Lisa also has to go. See you later, Lisa. Now once again, as if nothing has happened, the car is back in its old spot. There's number 175 over there. We have EasyJet. And here we have a Chinese triple to Guangzhou in China. Triple seven freighter. It is 12:52 right now. That means in approximately 8 minutes from now, the center runway once again is going to close for outbound traffic, and a secondary runway for inbound traffic is going to open up. It also means that from 1 till 2 o'clock, all outbound traffic will leave via the Polderbaan, the runway we are standing next to. So if all is well, things should start picking up again. I will have a power hour of Exodus. Right, it's time for the angry Chinese 777 freighter to Guangzhou to take off. China Southern Cargo, flight 2578. Registration, the Bravo 2075. The plane is 15 years old. Its first flight was in October of the year 2009. Painted girl coming in the chat to thank the gifter of the membership. I think that was AJ or Ali, who just left. I think you were one of the 5 recipients of her last 5 gifted memberships. And really nice of you, Painter Girl, to come over in the chat to say hi, because you just got notified of having received a gifted membership. Angry Chinese triple, and even with digital zoom and pixelated zoom quality, you can see that those flaps were rather dirty. Right, it's getting busy on the platform. A lot of movement of outbound traffic. For another 5 or so minutes, usually the central runway is going to stay open. I do see that the Qatar 777 to Doha has been pushed back, and I'm wondering which runway has it been assigned to. Looking on flight radar, quite a few wide-bodies are on the move already. Now, unfortunately, also something on the move in the water, and that is a bottle of water, mostly empty. Is there a message in the bottle? There doesn't seem to be any. Have a look on flight radar, and you can see quite a few airplanes are on the move. KLM flight 667 to Austin is coming this way. That's a 787-10. KLM flight 735. That's to Willemstad, Curaçao. 777-300 KLM flight 603 behind it. That's a 777-200 to LAX. You can see a Dreamliner to Calgary. That is also going to come this way, regardless of runway use. Delta Airlines flight 73 to Atlanta. An A350 also alive on the platform. And I'm wondering, are they doing a runway inspection in the meantime? They don't seem to be doing that. KLM Embraer 190 coming this way. And Flypigs on its way to Istanbul. Oink oink. Big picture wise, what does it look like? This is looking to the north. You can still see those cloud streets. The prevailing wind direction is over there, northeast, has been all the while. Things look a bit more cloudy to the west at the moment. We are right in the middle of cloud streets, so over here the sun is shining. Looking to the east, this is what it currently looks like. And looking to the south, this is what it looks like. So there's quite a few airplanes on their way to the Polderbaan. Right now, this is the only airplane here. Leaving for Persenchester in a few moments. KLM flight 1033. It's number 190. Papa Hotel, Echo X-Ray, Foxtrot, the registration. Indeed, John, the message in the bottle. Don't throw this bottle in the canal. Well, that's too little too late, unfortunately. Hi Daniel, goedemiddag. Welcome to the show, mate. Welcome to the show, everybody else who joined us in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at the Polderbaan. I always keep saying Polderbaan when we're at the Kaagbaan and the other way around. This is Polderbaan 36 left. Right now, 1 of 2 runways for departures. Pretty soon, the only. If you join us later, you may have missed the departure of the PHCKC 747 from KLM Cargo. on its way to Dubai now. Took off from this runway earlier in the morning. There was also a beautiful shot of an overhead Beluga that flew west-east to Bremen. Overhead further to the north, but still quite easily visible from here. Are we going to see any more 747s in the remainder of the stream? Don't know that we are. I'm hoping that we will. And if you look on Flight Radar, you can see a lot of wide bodies that have come alive, and a lot of them already are on their way to the Polderbaan. And I'm not sure if all of them are coming this way, because it is now 1 minute to 1. So if all is well, the central runway is going to close pretty soon. Looking forward to a power hour, which is actually an inbound rush hour. But since there will be only one runway open for outbound traffic during those inbound rush hours, everything leaving Schiphol will be leaving via this runway in that hour. Dukman has to go, mate. Thank you for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you again later in the weekend. I'm seeing a couple of airplanes that might still be candidates for the center runway. It does look like they are going to close down the center runway pretty soon. Hey, it's pasta time in Italy, Gilberto says. Buon appetit! Klaus wonders Bremen? Question mark. This one, Göteborg. Göteborg. KLM 737 taking to the sky in the distance, going to Lisbon. All right. Here come the wide bodies. Here come the wide bodies. And Rodney, unfortunately, already has to go again. Keep up the awesome work. I really enjoy it. I will definitely do that, mate. I'll resort to using blue pills if I need to keep it up, but hopefully I'll be able to do without. And hopefully see you again soon, mate. Something with twin engines coming this way. Which one is this? I'm pretty sure it should say so on the bottom of the fuselage. Let's see if we can catch a further glimpse of it. Well, this is the Zenith. We probably are able to catch it before it hits the Zenith. I'm sure you guys already saw it on Flight Radar, but I still haven't, and the phone screen is now down, so I cannot see your messages. I'm thinking the Contrails should re-emerge over there. There we go. Let's have a look. What does it say? What does it say? I have to read it upside down. Bastards. Ah, Qatar. It's a Qatar special livery. Oh, and this is hitting the Zenith. Qatar special livery, nice. Euro livery, UEFA. Ah, thank you, Ashley. And GE, thank you so much for your super chat. GE says hello from Ridgeway, Pennsylvania. Love your love your country and stream, mate. Thank you so much for your generosity and your kind words. You didn't have to super chat, you did it anyway. Thank you so much, GE. Alrighty. Now, have a look. 1, 2, 3 wide bodies. And then I think there's a 4th, the blue KLM in the background. I think that's also coming this way. Right, let's zoom in a little bit because there is a lot of traffic coming to the Polderbaan right now and I need to see what is what. The labels will start overlapping pretty soon. 3rd wide body also on its way. Right, time for KLM flight 667 to take off to Austin, Texas. It's a 787-10 Dreamliner. The Bravo Kilo Papa Hotel, obviously. Brand new airplane, first flight May this year. I'm also hearing something with propellers. I'm not seeing it. Always trying to find the needle in the haystack. That is those small airplanes with propellers that fly really high. You can hear them. Hardly ever are you able to find them, even with a blue sky. Up and away. Klaas has to go. Thanks for stopping by, Klaas. See you later. Hopefully later in the weekend. 747 on final to 06. Cathay Pacific Cargo. 7478. There it is. Arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle. Oh. This is KLM flight 735 to Willemstad, Curaçao, 777 300 EUR. Storm Eagle says that the propellered airplane I was hearing was a Cessna Caravan 2, Birmingham to Hanover. There you go. Next up, KLM flight 603 to LAX. Shoot time. Hey there, Gurdeep. Good to see you. That cloudy backdrop is still there. Hey, your goals are back. Good to see ya. And And next up is going to be Air Arabia Maroc to Nador, which is in the north of Nador in Morocco. This is the Charlie November Mike November as registration. That is a 10-year-old vehicle, first flight November 2014. Let's see. Center runway has closed. Another batch of airplanes is coming this way, and already we have 4 airplanes here, including the one lined up. And you can see more is coming, including Qatar. Qatar is also coming this way. So yeah, the power hour has begun, and if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around from 1 till 2. This is going to be the only runway for outbound traffic, and I think we're going to get a lot of action in the upcoming hour. Air Arabia Maroc to Nador up first. KLM to Hamburg next after that. Next up is going to be a KLM Embraer 190. And the A380 is flying over Amsterdam in my direction. Got it, got a visual on it. Thanks for the heads up, guys. Where did I see it? I think it's flying right behind the cloud right now. There it is. We saw something similar before, but then it was flying higher and producing a contrail. The shadowy contours of the A380, which I think, unfortunately, yeah, west of us there's more clouds right now, and I think we're not going to see the A380 anymore. Yeah, where it is open and where it is cloudy varies from hour to hour, and right now the west of us is cloudy. Hey, but it means it's going to land on runway 06. That's interesting. Didn't think it was going to do that given the time of arrival. But there you go. At Schiphol, you never know. Nothing is ever certain. El Al, second flight of El Al that we see today, flight 338. This is a 737-900 on its way to Tel Aviv. Next up, Caleb, flight 705 to Rio de Janeiro. That's a 777-200 the Papa Hotel, Bravo Quebec Hotel. And seems that we have crossed through 600 likes. Thank you all so much for that. If you are enjoying what you're seeing and you haven't liked the stream yet, consider doing so if you want to help this channel for free. Liking and subscribing is an easy and free way to help the channel reach a wider audience. Make it more gezellig in the chat. The more the merrier. This 777 is 20 years old already, ladies and gentlemen. Rio de Janeiro in Asia. I think this is the third KLM Asia triple that we have seen in today's stream. It's at least the second, but I thought it was even the third, maybe even the fourth. I don't know who it was, but we asked the other day, I think it was last week, how many airplanes in KLM Asia livery there are currently, and I think somebody said there were 8, so... Oh, shit, wrong direction. I was trying to zoom out and I zoomed in, making everything extremely pixelated. Apologies for that. It seems that Jörg has joined Team Blue, the 24 membership growing number of people, an exclusive club. Thank you so much, Jörg, for your continued support. 24 months a member, and he is Blue Dabadi Dabada or Badabi Badaba, that strange song. And Jörg has also turned blue. Now he even went ahead and gifted 10 memberships because of it, I think. You really didn't have to do that, mate. That is so sweet. Jörg, thank you so much for your generosity. You did not have to do that. I'm already happy to have you as a 24-month member. I hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. And if it's not, let me know. Let me see what I can do to fix it. In the meantime, this is a jet to Istanbul. Thank you so much, Jörg, for your generosity. "24 months a member, 2 years it has been already, and also 10 gifted memberships just now. You really didn't have to do that, ladder. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. If you are one of the recipients of JD's gifted memberships, don't forget to say thank you or dankeschön to him. Have fun with those custom emojis that you now have at your disposal for a month. Have fun with them. Make sure you use them. They're there to be had fun with. That goes for all members, new and old. It sometimes seems that people are hesitant to use those custom emojis, or maybe they are fatigued using them. That I can imagine the latter, maybe at some point. But have fun with them. They're there for a reason. Welcome to the Sky Lounge, and once again, Jörg, thank you so much for all the support as a member and for the gifted memberships. The many that you have given already. I think most members at some point have received a gifted membership either from Jörg or from Wolfgang. Hey, mini sail. We have a vessel in the canal coming this way. It's one of those lads that are checking the nets for crayfish. You can see poles at certain intervals in the water, and there are fishing nets attached to them. Crayfish are an invasive exotic species over here that shouldn't be here, and they're trying to catch them. German Airways hybrid livery. The bottom says BA. But the top says German Airways. And the airplane is flying on behalf of KLM. How to make things more confusing. Multiple occasions indeed. 600 likes as well. Well, there you go. Next up, Qatar. Flight 8206. And now my phone is buffering. That's not a good sign.